glad you're here. Hi, this is the audio version of the book, Peak, Parents of Estranged Adult Kids, a Resource for Recovery, authored by Faye Anam Abbas. Acknowledgements. The underlying premise of this book is that pain shared is pain eased. In isolation, the burdens of this life bear down with the weight that brings many of us to the brink of the intolerable. I am hopeful that these pages will serve to connect soul to soul, and through that connection, some light will break through the darkness. I believe that this is possible because I have experienced it through this writing with the support of colleagues, friends, and loved ones. In particular, I would like to thank Amy Fondre Ike, who made a careful first reading through the manuscript and made many helpful recommendations. Michelle Snyder is a continual source of encouragement for projects such as these. Mark Acker was a patient and supportive listener as I shared with him thoughts that would eventually make it into the book. Other readers include Jim Hanna, Linda Karlovic, and Tim Johnson. My editor, Susan Nemi, has become my tutor for better writing, but also cheers me on by affirming the important contribution the writing will make. Once again, I want to thank Heather Clark for the terrific cover and book design. Thanks also to my wife, Shawn, for her emotional support, combined with a very practical gift of proofreading the manuscript. Strangely, there is a beauty in sadness to which the poets and mystics point. I have seen this star, and I have followed it to its source, whom I have come to adore. Preface. I can trace the origins of this book to 3 distinct personal experiences. The first experience was my descent into suicidal thinking during my divorce in 2003. I have learned subsequently that suicide is a major risk for divorced men, more so than for women. Divorced men are as much as 8 times more likely to kill themselves than divorced women. This is partly due to the fact that divorcing fathers are much more likely than divorcing mothers to become estranged from their children. Men often lose the role of being a father in a way that women do not lose the role of being a mother. In either case, father or mother, loss of contact with one's children is a risk factor. I have also learned that mental health issues like depression are factors in only about half of the suicides in the United States. The other half involves stressors like divorce and parental estrangement, which are often ignored or, in the case of antagonistic parties, purposely exacerbated to secure an emotional or financial advantage. Among other purposes, this book will hopefully become a suicide prevention resource. My work in the field of suicide prevention has led me to believe that we must rethink how we deal with these stressors if we are ever going to make headway curbing a skyrocketing suicide rate. The second experience was my participation in a support group for adult children of alcoholics, or ACOA. The program understands many of our personal problems as reactions to issues within our families of origin, where there were struggles with alcohol, substance abuse, or other family dysfunctions. Sometimes people from non-alcoholic families attend simply because they feel like they are in the right place. I have found both the program and the loving individuals within that recovery group healing and helpful. The ACOA approach assumes that many of the problems we have with our own adult children can be traced back to a bundle of issues passed down from generation to generation and finally through us to them. Healing in our relationship with adult children requires us to keep our focus on how issues from our childhood continue to affect us and the relationship with our children today. I continue to believe that that approach has merit. However, I have also come to believe when the relationship becomes estranged, an adult child has severed communication with the parent, an additional set of tools needs to be brought to bear in addressing the problem. That's because parental estrangement has its own particular characteristics, including extreme emotional pain, that need to be addressed directly as a primary issue and not simply as a reflection of issues cascaded from a previous generation. The third experience that was formative in the writing of this book was the transformative effect of a deep spiritual experience in the 1990s, what is now referred to as a spiritually transformative experience, or STE. An experience is spiritually transformative when it causes people to perceive themselves and the world profoundly differently by expanding the individual's identity, augmenting their sensitivities, and thereby altering their values, priorities, and appreciation of the purpose of life. This may be triggered by surviving clinical death or by otherwise sensing an enlarged reality. There are a number of psychological after effects from an STE that have received attention. These include changes in values, greater empathy and compassion for others, a greater sense of well-being, a more positive outlook on life, a greater desire to learn, and increased creativity. STEs come to love and accept others without the usual attachments and conditions society expects. They perceive themselves as equally and fully loving of each and all, openly generous, and excited about the potential and wonder of each person they see. Their desire is to be a conduit of universal love. Confused family members tend to regard this sudden switch in behavior as oddly threatening, as if their loved one had become aloof, unresponsive, or even uncaring and unloving. The integration of an STE into the rest of one's life may be difficult, and in some areas of life fail completely. This can be due to a fundamental shift in values that become unaligned between spouses, resulting in divorce, or between parents and adult children. In some cases, this results in a parting of the ways that may be the closest thing possible to a happy ending for both parents and adult children. These three experiences have all made major contributions to my navigating the painful world of parental estrangement. I have done the work of conducting my thorough and fearless relational audit. I understand how my cowardice and self-centeredness have had serious consequences for others. I also understand that some of the mistakes I have made were partly the result of my trying to muddle my way through the after effects of a significant STE. Unfortunately, insight alone will not undo the estrangement between a parent and their adult children. I have 4 wonderful children who have gone their own way. I love them dearly and desire only good things for them. I have learned a great deal from them, as well as from the experience of losing them. They have pushed me into the world with an expanded perspective. As you will read in the pages that follow, I believe that the world needs people who can move forward in lives of love, vitality, and service to others. The purpose of this book is to help estranged parents navigate through the pain and into recovery. The reader will notice that I have borrowed some concepts from both the Adult Children of Alcoholics program and others from the insights of spiritually transformative experiencers. However, PEAK, Parents of Estranged Adult Children, is not an official 12-step program. The final purpose of this book is not to eliminate all sadness. Since life is a journey,